Did you go to the hospital? Did you get hurt? Did you get stitches?
You know, at some point, the dog is just gonna figure out, like, I'm faster than you. He's like, I don't even care that she sat. You don't?
Good morning, good afternoon, good day to everyone in this beautiful world we call Earth. Welcome to the Species Canine podcast. And as always, with me today is Taylor. How are you today, ma'am?
Oh, I'm dying. I'm trying not to cough. My allergies are really bad.
Fun. Yeah, that's false spring, false winter, everything happening here in Central Texas. So what is on today's agenda for us?
I thought it would be fun if we did the iceberg trend, in that, like, there's some parts of a topic that are very visible to, like, your general culture. And then as you kind of get deeper and deeper into the topic, you find things that are more niche, less well known, and require more explanation. So I thought we could do the iceberg of bad dog training advice. The first level is punishing your dog for pottying in the house.
Okay.
So here's our first example.
Thing is to discourage bad behavior. So we need to correct it when the dog goes to the bathroom in the house. Now, this is a source of a lot of contention because a lot of people say, no, you can't correct the dog. They won't realize what they won't realize what you're doing. Guys, dogs aren't stupid. You know, they form associations in the minute, or in the moment rather. No, come on. In the moment, if my dog's going to the bathroom inside and I correct it, the dog will understand that that's something I don't want to repeat.
All right, thoughts?
I'm trying to stay on the subject here, but I lost count, but I counted like 6 tongue flicks.
That dog? Yeah.
Those are calming signals, right? So this dog is truly stressed, right? It's like uncomfortable in this scenario. Clearly, this guy has no concept of ABA or operant conditioning, anything like that. Punishing your dog for going potty doesn't matter where it's at. It's the act of going potty. It's not the location. So you're telling your dog going to the bathroom is bad. So yeah, showing them outside, taking them outside, having that set routine and rewarding the behavior you want is what you want to do in that scenario. Using positive punishment for a natural behavior. Would you punish your 2-year-old because they wet the bed in the middle of the night? No, that's going to happen. So you just move on, you clean it up and you move on. It's the same concept, right?
And broadly speaking, like, punishment only stops a behavior when the dog understands what it's supposed to do in place of that behavior. The only exception would be in cases where the dog's initial reaction would automatically turn it off. Like when we talk about using scat mats, for example, dog puts paws on counter, dog give them some punishment. They naturally just go off the counter, which stops the punishment. Situations like this, the dog's not going to naturally, like he's saying, magically understand that, oh, I went to the bathroom inside and that's bad. Like, how's a dog supposed to know inside from outside? Maybe it's the kitchen floor. Maybe it's this room. Maybe it's this specific part of this room. Like, your dog has no idea, and it's silly. All right, next kind of level of the iceberg is when you're calling your dog and they don't come to you, and then when they finally do come to you, you punish them for it.
She did not come to me. Oh, it's a big game. It's a big game. Sit. 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 Stay. Okay. So the lip licks. Okay. Now let's see if this changes her. I pursued, and I'm glad that happened because that's what you guys do. It only felt right in a 5,000 square foot area to redirect her brain and tell her sit. I still wasn't like, oh, thanks for sitting, because I just saw a minute of avoiding and weird little growls and everything's a big game. So this is not fun time. I don't care that she sat. She knows that this punishment, which it really isn't, is for everything being a big ass game to her. Okay?
Beckman's dog training, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Why didn't you let your other dog go just attack it?
Yep.
And why do you only have one dog that can perform? Anyway, so simple operant conditioning, folks. Okay. It's very simple. There's an antecedent that causes the behavior. The antecedent's the trigger that causes something. I'm sitting on the couch and go, I'm hungry. That's the antecedent that makes me walk my happy ass over to my refrigerator. That's the behavior. I open the refrigerator. There's nothing there. I go back to the couch. The likelihood of me returning to the refrigerator is very low because there was nothing there to reinforce me. Now, I go walk to the refrigerator. There's a pack of Oreos in there, and I grab a couple. This pattern is going to repeat because I got reinforced by going to the refrigerator. This dog listened to the sit command for whatever reason. After a bunch of snaps, I'm not sure what the hell that's about. But it sat, and then he doesn't even acknowledge the fact that a new behavior was asked. That's less likely that dog is going to sit again when it's told to sit because it got punished for doing what it was told.
That's like if you went to your fridge and Joel Beckman jumped out and grabbed you by your collar and went like that. You're not going to want to go to your fridge again.
Oh, yeah, I would.
It's funny because this video is actually, he advertises it as a method of teaching the recall. He calls it the go get method, which this seems like the antithesis of a recall command if you have to go get the dog. But he's like, it's great because you don't need an e-collar or a leash or treats. You know, at some point, the dog is just going to figure out, like, I'm faster than you. He's like, I don't even care that she sat. You don't?
You should, because otherwise you'd still be chasing the dog around. Like, it's a game. It's a big game. So I'm going to keep chasing you. So yes. So what you did here from a true science standpoint is you said to the dog, when I tell you to come, I'm going to reinforce you not coming to me by chasing you and making a game. Because the dog was clearly playing. It was in play drive, complete play drive, right? But when I tell you to sit, you're going to get punished. So I'm going to decrease the chances of you're ever sitting again. And I'm going to increase the chances of you running around again.
Oh, it always gets my heart rate going. The next one is a classic, and it is alpha rolling your dog.
Oh, my old buddy Caesar here, huh? There we go.
I know what they're capable to do, but that doesn't intimidate me. That only prepares me. This is very important. You know, again, he went after me a few times. You know,
Good.
obviously, he did it before, so we're gonna get what he shares. That was a dominant reaction using his mouth over. Simple as that. So we gotta stay there until you see that switch, that he's no longer attacking and he now wants to relax. And that's when I grab the neck, put him in the ground, and then wait for this state. This is very important. This is what they would do among each other.
Yeah. So he called it dominance, right? So we know dominance is defined as the first right to a limited resource. Thank you, David Meach, for that. So what's the dominance over? What's the first right here? I think he attacked you because you probably gave him a pretty decent leash correction with that prong collar, and he didn't like it. There could be some leadership issues here where this dog is simply like, dude, I don't know who you are. I'm not going to listen to you. The moment you do this to your dog, you start physically abusing them. You are now telling that dog, this is okay in our relationship. When you study wild wolves, wild canines, and things, there is very little aggression in the pack because dominance exists to eliminate aggression. And just because the dog gives up in the moment doesn't mean it respects you, okay? That's a survival instinct of, I will live to fight another day.
I don't want to
Now,
die.
He does this with the wrong dog, you know, a game bred, one generation out of the fighting ring. He's going to be there all night with this thing.
Next up is, in order to show your dog that you are the leader, you need to make sure that your dog does not walk in front of you or go ahead of you.
Pulling on the leash, and while this may seem harmless, it is still a form of disobedience that needs to be discouraged from an early age. Never allow your dog to lead you on a walk unless she is off-leash and you have given her permission. You will find it much harder to assert dominance over your dog if you don't do this. 2.
Well,
The video is called The 5 Easy Ways to Show and Assert Dominance Over a Dog.
again, we talk about dominance a lot. There's a lot of misconceptions in it. Dominance is the first right to a limited resource. And then there's leadership, this separate thing, right? And this is what they're trying to say, like, oh, be the leader and you're leading your dog. You give the dog permission to be off leash and lead, and that's okay, but they can't be out front on the leash. What if they're on a flexi leash and not pulling technically? Just a question. Like, come on now. Let's like think about this rationally, right? Like, you as the human made the decision to go for the walk. You're the one as the human who made the decision to go left instead of right. That's what leadership is. Because if you look at this from an ethology standpoint and you're looking at a pack of wild canines, who's going to have the most energy, the most strength, and the most stamina to run up the hill first? The teenager, the young buck that hasn't been in a dozen fights, hasn't been kicked by an elk. But guess who made the decision to go up that hill? The leaders, mom and dad.
Nice. The next one is using a harness rather than a prom or a choke or an e-collar is better because it's force-free.
Please tell me it's Victoria Stilwell.
I do not disappoint.
Most people who use these kind of things when training have no idea of the psychological negative impact it's having on their dog. Contraptions are plain abuse, and so the best place for all of these is in the trash where they belong. So what are the solutions? You want to be able to walk your dog, but you're finding it too hard to teach your dog just on a regular collar and leash. Well, some of the solutions come in the form of harnesses. I like these kind of harnesses. These kind of harnesses lead a dog by the chest. A leash is attached to a loop that centers on the chest area so that when the dog pulls, the dog's body comes round.
I'll show you my bonus video after I get your initial reactions here.
Yeah, so clearly we all know Victoria Stilwell does not know anything about operant conditioning. So a no-pull harness, and she actually advocates and sells one on her website. It causes the body to spin around. That is the exact definition of an aversive. It's positive punishment. Whether it's on their chest, on their neck, on their tail, on their foot, on their ear, it does not matter. That is an aversive. It's positive punishment.
It's so convenient, right? These things are super harmful. So what should you use? Since you can't use these things, well, I sell a harness, you see. Of course.
There's like a gigantic rat or something in my ceiling.
I can watch Jared die in real time.
I just heard it. Like, okay, proper man just getting a phone call in the morning.
Just for bonus points, I found a little bonus video. I would love folks to just pay close attention to what this dog is wearing in this episode of It's Me or the Dog.
So I want you to try and understand what his senses are going through right at this moment. Because
you can see he's nervous and he's anxious.
Yeah, he's hearing things that he's never heard before. He's seeing things he's never seen before. It's getting him used to coming out here, and then it's leash training him.
Okay.
It's telling him this is the appropriate
Pretty
way
narrow.
to walk on a leash.
Okay.
He's still darn strong, though.
I thought.
I mean, to me,
Yeah.
that looks like a martingale collar, which constricts when it's pulled, just like a choke chain does. It's just in a different fashion.
Yes.
It looks nicer because it's fabric, I guess, but it's the same mechanism.
But you even there, like that Nero is probably pushing 150 pounds. That's a big dog. It's a really pretty Nero Mastiff. It's a beautiful Mastiff. And it didn't care. It's just
No.
pulling away. Could care less, you know. So even that type of collar was not stopping this dog from pulling.
Yeah. So next up on the iceberg is that in order to fix aggression, you just need to put an e-collar on the dog and punish them when they show aggression. So here's our example.
Right there. Okay.
We're in session 7 of the Smart Dog Behavior Program with Brutus, who is a dog reactive dog. He's about to get an e-collar correction for the reactivity behaviors he's displaying. Right now is when I pressed the e-collar and it interrupted that exploding aggressive stuff you're seeing. 2 corrections is all it took for us to stop the reactivity and get to this point here. Even though Brutus's behaviors looked really scary in the beginning, he was only being reactive, not aggressive.
He was only being reactive, not aggressive.
So she's trying to say the dog had barrier frustration.
I don't know what she's trying to say. I want to be clear. Like, I chose this specific video because there's no command. I didn't hear a command. I didn't see a command. She didn't say this was a leave it command or a focus on me command. Like she said, she gets a correction for staring too long. Okay, what is too long? Does the dog know what too long is? Is it 3 seconds? Is it 5 seconds? How can the dog know how to avoid the correction? Just don't ever look at another dog? Like, this doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. So I'd be curious, did the dog ever know what the e-collar was? Did they teach it, what it meant, how to escape it, and that? She kind of has the concept down, but I'm just worried that the foundation wasn't laid and you just got lucky. She could. I worked with a dog that was dog reactive, and you blast him on an e-collar like that, he's gonna bite you.
He did it.
Yeah, but yeah, there's better ways of going about doing this.
It's worth noting, like, the e-collar is the best tool for motivational punishment, but there's steps that get you to that. So, like, we talk about, you're not really punishing the dog for having an emotional reaction to something. You're punishing the dog for not obeying a command. So Bowie can feel however she wants to feel about the guy on the other side of the street, but leave it means leave it. Yeah, and
you have to build up to that. But yeah, the thing with e-collars is you can be more motivational than the most stimulus of stimuli in the environment. I can find a level on an e-collar that's significantly more motivational than that dog across the street or that squirrel running. But you have to get to that point of training where the dog understands that, and that's part of the generalization process. So just giving the dog an aversive, right? The dog stopped the behavior. Okay, maybe she gave her a command or something like that. That would be the antecedent, the command. The dog stopped. So that's a new behavior. We got to reinforce that. Good boy, good girl, love it up, give it a treat, feel the affection, do something to let it know it made the right decision. Because otherwise, it's left in that state of limbo. Well, I got this thing on my neck. I really didn't understand it, but I stopped and then nothing happened.
All right, second to last one. The next piece of bad dog training advice is that you should punish the growl.
Want to get rid of Buddha attacking and biting other dogs, we have to get rid of the early signs of that. So I'm going to put it down. If I see Buddha is eating, another dog comes up, and Buddha stiffens up, looks at the dog, I'm going to punish that. How am I going to punish that? I'm going to say, leave it, or I'm going to say, hey, and I'm going to clap, and I'm going to walk into Buddha. And Buddha's going to go, and then go, oh, okay, dude. Then he's going to go back to eating. Sees the dog, because that growl, that is the precursor to a full-on attack from Buddha. We've seen it. It's bad. Okay? That's what we got to fix. That's what we got to fix. So
I won't show the whole thing. His punishment that he ends up doing is he like hits the baby gate thing that's there. That's his punishment.
Okay, so I tell clients continuously, they're like, my dog growls when they're eating their food bowl. And, well, I don't like it. Why? Did you go to the hospital? Did you get hurt? Did you get stitches? Well, no. I just don't think it should growl at me if I take its food bowl away from you. Okay. What would you do if someone did that to you? You're going to be upset about it. So don't cause conflict with your dog. Don't ever put that in their mind that this jackass can come take my food from me. Resource guarding is a very natural thing. Again, you study ethology. David Meach did this, and he studied wild wolves, and it didn't matter the age of the wolf. If they had something in their ownership zone between their paws, underneath their chin, no matter the age of the dog or size of the wolf coming over to them, they showed aggression 100% of the time. It's completely natural. It's a survival instinct. But punishing a growl does something very, very important that people like this jackass don't understand. You're telling that dog communication is not allowed, so you're forcing that dog to bite. You're telling that dog to skip steps in the aggression cycle to communicate what you want. Because when you communicate with me that you're uncomfortable, you're upset, or whatever it may be, you get punished for growling and communicating. A growl has never hurt anybody or anything. I've never been put in the hospital because of a growl. Never. I get growled all the time. this behavior is so manageable, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and like his thinking is, oh, this is a cycle. So if I interrupt the cycle when it's easy, then the end state won't get reached. And that's his problem, is it's not a cycle like he's thinking. You know, if I have a Chipotle burrito and somebody comes up and is like, hey man, I want your Chipotle burrito, I'm not gonna go straight to swinging, you know? I'm gonna first try and talk. If all of a sudden talking is off the table, we can't talk, if I care enough about the Chipotle burrito, I might go straight to swinging. Like, you eliminate the warning signs.
Yep.
This last one, I had to add it. So this is the final, the most deep depth.
Is this the bottom of the iceberg? It has like moss on it.
Yeah. It's like where the ocean stops letting light in type stuff. And it is that dominance is a myth.
Often from a new person, I'll get the question about how to be a better pack leader, or how do I show my dog that I'm the dominant one? Now, it's important to understand that these terms, pack leader, dominance, alpha, all of that, are not really based in science, but rather pop culture. The term alpha can be traced back to studies on captive wolves. Now, while we do see instances of what some behaviorists might call dominance in scenarios where wolves are in an unnatural captive environment, it's a far cry from how a human being with an evolved intelligence, unlike any other known species, should base their interactions with a domestic dog. You see, dogs and wolves are very, very different behaviorally speaking, and I'll address that more in a second as well. But first, understand that wolves in their natural environment do not express the alpha traits that many think they do. Rather, their family structure is actually quite similar to ours. While it may feel like a sound philosophy for some in dog training to explain how the domestic dog listens to the alpha, the fact is there is no modern science that substantiates these claims. Furthermore, there is no science to indicate that a domestic dog is dominant cross-species, and in my 11-year career, I've not seen a pattern that would indicate to me of any cross-species dominance.
Okay, so I'm going to help fill in some gaps here for you, jackass. So the study that he's referencing was actually published in the 40s by a gentleman named Rudolf Schenkel. So I'll quote the study for you, sir, because you could not. In his own writings, Rudolf Schenkel said, this is not real. These are captive wolves from numerous packs and numerous types of wolves. So you had red wolves mixed in with gray wolves, mixed in with Arctic wolves. And he witnessed a massive amount of aggression because these were not family units. And he even said that. Later, in the year of 1999, a gentleman named David Meach published a study about leadership and dominance and things of wolves in the wild, because he had the ability at that time with technology and snowmobiles to go study wild wolves. And yes, he said, hey, dominance exists to prevent aggression, because the parents, mom and dad, just like he said, that's correct. You know, their hierarchy is very similar to ours. They're the ones who make the decision. And then everybody else has seconds. Now, dogs and wolves aren't the same. They share 99.9% of their DNA, the same body language, the same calming signals, the same everything can be seen in a wolf, can be seen in a domestic dog. So saying that they're not the same is completely wrong. Clearly, you haven't read a study, and dude, you need to blink more. This is so like out there of just trying to get like clickbait of saying these things don't exist when it truly seriously does.
I hope all the people watching this thank me for the gift I've just given them of exposing Jared to Zach George, because that reaction from you, Jared, was like everything I wished.
So I've actually seen parts of this before. I think Mike has it in one of his lectures.
Okay.
Oh God! Like you get the extremes, right? You get the Cesar Milans of the world who are like, you got to alpha roll your dog, and you got to show him who's boss. And then you get this guy over here. Oh, it doesn't exist.
Well, the first is like he's talking about cross-species dominance. I literally have a picture of Ripple meeting an actual wolf that was out promoting the wolf sanctuary with his handler. Ripple is showing a certain body language and the wolf is showing a certain body language, and they're communicating with each other like exactly in a picture.
Want to play, but don't eat me.
Yeah. Like, they're speaking the same language. It's not like Ripple's doing French and the guy's doing German, right? They understand each other. The other thing I was going to say, because I've seen this in our comments before, if you think that dominance was debunked because the guy that invented the term alpha ended up rescinding it. Let me give you some more background. David Meach came out and said that he didn't think the term alpha was appropriate for the family structures he was seeing because the connotation of alpha was violence and aggression. What he was trying to say there was not that dominance didn't exist, but rather that it's a family unit. And I'm going to insert a clip right here of him saying that literally a few years ago, saying, no, dominance does exist. People misinterpreted what I said.
But a large community in the dog world referenced your 1999 paper as proof with dogs that there is no such thing as dominance, no such thing as leadership, and that dogs are not pack animals. Is your paper proof of any of those things?
Of course not. And that's a total misrepresentation, which has been around since I published that paper in 1999.
My rat is back.
What's his name?
I think my name is Scrappy. Calm down, Scrappy. I'm trying to film.
He can be our mascot.
If I kill it, maybe I can mount it. So, folks, we greatly appreciate the likes, subscribes, and shares. You know, keep it up. Hopefully, get some cool videos going here soon for some training stuff. Now we got the studio set up and got the training facility all done here. So, as always, be good humans and train smart.